Hello, YouTubers. It's Kenny Dreadfuls here. Um, this is another edition of my WaterLogged series. Um, still growing into what it's going to be. I realized that it would probably be helpful that if I actually read the daily reflection that I'm doing the painting on. I'm going to do that. Today's January 14th. And the title of this one was No Regrets. And there's a quote from the big book, which is Alcoholics Anonymous. It's the big blue book. You may have seen it. But it says, "We will not regret the past, nor wish to shut the door on it." Once I became sober, I began to see how wasteful my life had been, and I experienced overwhelming guilt and feelings of regret. The program's fourth and fifth steps assisted me enormously in healing those troubling regrets. I learned that my self-centeredness and dishonesty stemmed largely from my drinking, and that I drank because I was an alcoholic. Now I see how even my most distasteful past experiences can turn to gold, because as a sober alcoholic, I can share them to help my fellow alcoholics, particularly newcomers. Sober for several years in AA, I no longer regret the past. I am simply grateful to be conscious of God's love and of the help I can give to others in the fellowship. And of course, whoever wrote this, it is anonymous. So, with this painting, obviously I was moved by the gold, and that is what I started using, is Dan Smith brown gold that I used for a lot of this. And a little bit of my P.H. Martin's Hydrus, and a lot, basically. I was using a lot. And then I decided to put the door in the meadow, and I knew that from the beginning. I was going to put the door in the meadow, basically opening up to the gray sky, which is, kind of trite, but again, who cares? The whole point of this is me just trying to do positive things, daily while I'm waiting for my life to catch up. I had a group counseling tonight, which went really well. It's always just good to be in a room of people who are struggling with addiction, and are in recovery, because that shared bond, like those moments are when you know that you're not alone, and you aren't alone. That's why Alcoholics Anonymous has really helped me, because, I know that I'm not the only one who's struggling, and, and seeing people that have years of recovery makes you know that it is possible, and hearing other people's stories makes you realize that you're not the only one who has this problem. This was a really hard painting for me. And it's, by all means, it's not the greatest thing ever. But, again, I'm a beginner, and it just feels good to express. Tomorrow's another day, and I get to try again. So we'll see what tomorrow holds. But thank you for those who've watched it. I hope we feel free to share this, subscribe, click like. If you liked it as well. If you have any thoughts on this daily reflection, or if you are also a recovering addict or alcoholic, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. I think that speaking about your struggles with addiction is the best way to come to terms with it. A lot of times we're asked to suffer in silence, and that's just not how I roll. I like to put things out in the open, and, live in no shame. The shame is in the past, and it's time to live with integrity. So that's what I'm trying to do. But I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.